Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Chris. I had a gentleman ask about the Edge tuner that I have, and I just wanted to do a quick video about the features of it and kind of what I think about it. This is the Edge CTS2 Evolution. It's got the touch screen. This is the gauge pod that I picked out. If you click left or right, it'll change, your gauges, and if you click on a specific one, then you can go to their menu and pick whatever you want. This is the one that I picked, was the needles. It gives you the most gauges to choose from. Like I said, if you just pick one, you go to select PID, and then you can change whatever you like. So the main ones I like to see are the engine coolant temp, transmission fluid temp, being that the 7.3 gauge pod from stock didn't have one. Got my IPR percentage and my ICP pressure. And you can do a lot of things. I have it like on run time, boost, it'll tell me what gear. You can pick the voltage. You can pick your exhaust, like back pressure, duty cycle. It'll tell you a lot of things. It's pretty cool. If you click this right here at the bottom, this goes into your menu. Performance settings is for the 7.3, you have the stock. It'll save the stock tune. Then it's got the towing, it's got race, and then extreme race. I've never used the extreme race. My favorite one is the racing tune, mainly because it gives me the best fuel economy. I get about 19 to 20. On the towing tune, I get about 16. And pretty much every time you change the tune, it just changes your fuel metering and the timing. And diesels aren't really meant to have a lot of timing because they run off pre-ignition. They're not like a gasoline engine where you have a lot of spark advance. So the one problem with the towing tune that I didn't like is that it changes the way the transmission shifts every time you change your settings. So the towing tune, going from first to second, it's like a slower, softer shift, especially if you're getting on it, you kind of notice it more. I like the racing tune because the shifts are pretty quick and firm, and that will help your clutches and bands and all that last longer. Obviously, layout, you can change the background, different colors, different patterns. Records will keep track on its own, like your average fuel economy, highest oil pressure, or excuse me, oil temp, highest trans temp, stuff like that. Data locking I've never messed with, and performance testing, it'll do like 0 to 60, quarter mile, and all that. Not interested in that really with this truck. Diagnostics will read your codes and it will clear them. The mileage coach I used at the beginning, it doesn't really tell you the truth. It was telling me I was getting like 24 miles to the gallon, and I wasn't getting that, just based off the mileage, and I would just figure it up on my own. So I've kind of stopped using that. The maintenance manager I like a lot. You can go in and you can set up items that you want to have maintenance. So you click on it, and it'll tell you can set for your air filter, axle fluid. All the green ones is what I have. Change your oil, change your coolant, change your air filter, stuff like that. And it will remind you to do that by this little drop down menu up here. It'll be like a green bar will show up, and you click on that and it tells you your notification of what needs to be maintained. Settings, you can change a lot of other stuff. I haven't really had to use the help or anything like that. So let me turn the truck off. So I have really liked this tool. I had a problem with it about 2 months ago. The touchscreen stopped working, and it was under warranty, so I just sent it back to Edge and they replaced the screen. I don't know how much it would cost to fix it after it's out of warranty. So the main reason I bought this, obviously with most diesels, you kind of want to keep track of, trans fluid temp, stuff like that. Especially with this truck, because on the dash, it didn't come with a gauge like the 6.0 light diesels did. So the other things that you can do with this is you can stack multiple gauges that are not part of this. You got to buy them separate. So like one for your EGTs, your a pyrometer. There's a cable underneath the kick panel here. There's like a plug where you can stack multiple gauges. So if you wanted to add like a digital coolant temperature gauge, I have one up here, but it's electrical. So I'd like to see like a digital readout, and you can get it on here. It's just the parameter that the Edge cannot access through the computer. So what you do is they give you a kit that has a probe. You put it in like your coolant filter, or you find some place to access the coolant, and then you run a wire in here, and then you can create a gauge so that you can keep track of that. The pyrometer I'd like to do one of these times. The other cool thing they have is a backup camera. It's about, I don't know, I think it's about $500. It's kind of expensive, but it also just plugs in line. Excuse me, it doesn't use this. There's actual like a RCA type plug in the back here that you plug into that, and then anytime you go into reverse, or you can just click it on anytime you want through the monitor, and it's basically like a license plate holder cover, and then you can have a backup camera. So that'd be kind of cool eventually one of these days. I do tow my boat. It's kind of a pain in the ass getting it hooked up on your own, for those of you guys that do a lot of towing. Just again, I really like the race tune. That's probably my favorite, and I haven't used the extreme race. I probably won't ever do that, but it's a pretty cool tool. The reason I bought the touchscreen is because it's bigger. They have a CTS, which is like, it's not touchscreen, it's got buttons on it, but it does pretty much all the same things this does. I don't know if it does the backup camera or not, but yeah. One other thing that you guys might want to keep in mind, if it gets really cold out, I would highly recommend taking this inside and not leaving it outside. It kind of, the guy at Edge said that they are tested to super cold temperatures and still work, but I noticed that it's a lot slower when you go to click something for it to load and whatnot, and sometimes it even will freeze up. So if it's going to get really cold outside, I would, like freezing's fine, but we had some temperatures out here at the end of December 2017 where it was 0 overnight, or even colder than that. So I was taking this inside, and then it works just fine. You guys have any questions, let me know. See ya.